What's up, volleyball fans? Both our teams, the Savouge Spin Doctors and of course the Alpha Insurance Protectors, are officially heading to the semifinals, the playoffs. But momentum is valuable as we approach the post-elimination round. This is 3 of 3 of our triple header Friday. Again, happy Volleyball Friday to you, volleyball fans. And we are live at the Phil Oil Center in San Juan. This is Spikersturf, where power meets passion.
And we are coming to you live from the Phil Oil Center in San Juan for the continuation of your 2026 Spikersturf Open Conference, all here on One Sports Plus and the Filipinas Live app. Our final game of your Friday triple header, we have the Savouge Spin Doctors making their way inside the venue as they go up against Alpha Insurance Protectors in their round 2 encounter. Second part of this duel between the Spin Doctors and the Protectors. Thank you so much for joining us here on Signal TV. Dip Dipiaco alongside Ivy Remulla, ready to give you the match. Ivy, this is the second round already, although we know that these two teams are into the semifinals after that win earlier by the Cam Stars officially. Well, of course, there's still pride at stake for both of these squads.
That's right, and of course, more than the pride, you would want to take momentum with you as you move on into the tournament, because these are things that would really boost, the confidence of the team.
Precisely, that momentum is very important. And of course, for Alpha Insurance, they want to get back at Savouge, who beat them in their first round matchup. But let's take a look at the team standings after the 2 matches played earlier.
That's right. So here we can see that the top 4 teams have been identified, and we know who will be moving on to the next round. And of course, again, we're talking about momentum here. All of these 4 teams are the remaining matches. So regardless of the outcome of the matches of the teams at the bottom, so the 4 teams will be moving on to the next round.
So the semifinals cast is set. It's all about getting the wins here in round 2 to get that much-needed boost for them in the postseason. Let's talk about 2 teams. First, for the Savouge Aesthetics. In their previous matchup, they played just the other day, last Wednesday, and they defeated the 3B Event Masters, who officially bowed out of the competition earlier.
That's right, and this is actually a good way, for Savouge to moving on, to progress into the tournament, because they were able to defeat 3B Event Masters in 3 straight sets. So this would be a very good momentum indicator here for Savouge.
That was a quick 3-setter, actually the quickest match of the conference so far, diba? An hour and 3 minutes. These are the numbers and how Savouge dominated that game against 3B.
And then we can see with the numbers that it was a complete momentum. That all the dominance was actually in the side of Savouge. They outranked, of course, 3B Event Masters with the spikes, the blocks, the aces, and they also committed less errors with the entire match.
Well, this conference, they debuted a lot of new players, including this guy, 4-time best middle blocker in JP Bugawan, already getting used to his squad, different color, but same firepower from JP Bugawan.
Oh yes, the consistency is there. No matter which team you put him in, it will always be the same high quality play we'd see from JP Bugawan. Of course, he has been dominant in most of the matches, as with that 3-set win against 3B Events. He completely had control over the net. As we take a look at his numbers, 10 points in that match with 6 attacks, and of course, the blocking will always be there for JP Bugawan. 3 blocks and 1 service ace.
And we know that he is capable of producing bigger numbers pag humaba pa yung laro na yan. So let's find out in this matchup today. Lipat tayo sa kabila for the Alpha Insurance Protectors, who also faced the same team in their last outing. Medyo mas mahaba lang yung pahinga nila, Ivy. It was exactly a week ago when they faced 3B Event Masters.
That's right. So also in this match, it was also Alpha Insurance, was dominant, and they had actually played one of their best blocking games in the conference. So they collected 8 of their 14 blocks in the second set. So it really shows, how much power they have at defense at the net.
And we'll see the numbers here on your screens against the event masters. What stood out for you here?
Of course, as I mentioned, it has been the blocking. I think that has been the key factor, in that 3-set win against the event masters in that last match. So it wasn't as easy probably as the match of Savouge versus the 3 event masters, but again, it was a lot. There was a lot that can be said about how the defense was at the net.
And on their side of the court is another familiar face, former teammate of JP Bugawan in JM Ronquillo, who arguably played his best game defensively in that lopsided win.
That's right. So JM Ronquillo actually also had a field day against event masters in that last game. So we were talking about the blocking, and he's actually one of the players who had the most number of block points in that game. So as we take a look at the numbers, 12 points at the end of that match for JM Ronquillo, 5 attacks, 6 big points from the defense at the net, and 1 ace.
It's going to be a good matchup against JP Bugawan at the net, as we invite our viewers to join our conversation over on social media. Just use the hashtag spikersturfph2026 when you post your stuff on X, on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. As we turn you over to our venue announcer
Ladies
for
and
the start
gentlemen,
of this
coming
match.
to you live, Center San Juan is the 2026 Open Conference of your Spiker Surf, where power meets passion. Our last match of today's triple header, preliminary round 2, match number 25 between Savouge Spin Doctors and their opponent, Alpha Insurance Protectors. Presenting our national officials for this match. First referee, Mr. Dogan Racelis. Second referee, Mr. Doffer Educado. Let's meet the starters. First for Savouge Spin Doctors. Calling jersey number 1, Shawi Caritativo. At number 4, Gils Torres. Jersey number 6, Mark Calado. At 14, JM Paglaon. Number 21, Louis Ramirez. And 25, JP Bugawan. Starting libero number 5, Rico Marmeto. Head coach is Sidney Calderon. Introducing the Alpha Insurance Protectors. Starting with their team captain at number 16, Jeff Abunyawan. At number 1, JM Ronquillo. Jersey number 3, Billy Anima. Number 7, JJ Havelona. At 15, Edward Camposano. Number 23, Sian Silang. Starting libero number 2, Neil Manato. With their head coach, Mr. Fritz Santos. It's the Savouge Spin Doctors and Alpha Insurance Protectors. Spiker Surf 2026 Open Conference, where power meets passion.
Here are the starters for the Savouge Aesthetic Spin Doctors. Calado, Bugawan, Caritativo, Ramirez, Torres, Paglaon, and Marmeto. So just a change in terms of the setter for Savouge in their round 1 matchup against Alpha Insurance. Meanwhile, you see the entry of JJ Havelona, who did not see action in their first round battle. And also, Jao Umandal will be coming off the bench. So we're all set for this one this Friday, your last one of this triple header inside the Philoil Center in San Juan. Thank you so much for joining us on One Sports Plus and the Pilipinas Live app. Dip Dip Yank with Ivy Remulla. First off, an attack error. Point goes to Alpha Insurance.
So I think one of the things that we would probably be expecting here from this match is a lot of defense at the net, considering how well both of these teams, have scored off that in their last matches.
Yeah, 6 blocks you mentioned earlier for JM Ronquillo, which is the highest he has tallied either in UAAP or here in the Spikers turf. But I'm sure Savouge will make it tougher for him to get those numbers, which is why they will rely on other guys like Billy Anima, who scored that point.
Of course, we know Billy has also been one of the more consistent attackers here for Savouge. In their last meeting, when both of these two teams met, he had 7 points.
Kept alive by Manato for Alpha Insurance. Paglaon sets up Calado for that spike. Mark Calado was their top scorer. Talking about the Spin Doctors when they faced Alpha Insurance last March 1. It was a win for the Spin Doctors in 4 sets, by the way. Camposano. Oh, using his strength and his offhand at that.
Winning that push. Let's take a look at that once again. This is good coverage. Camposano just driving it through the hands of Calado.
Out muscling Calado that time. Paglaon tosses to Ramirez. That's a good look on the cross court. Ramirez is one of those guys who talked about the pressure of being part of a new team, how he's being relied on heavily by this squad, but looks like he has fit in pretty well. Camposano, meanwhile, composed so far here in the first set.
Another good kill there by Camposano.
Ronquillo now serving 4-3. Page sets up Ramirez. Wow.
Another excellent kill.
Look at that. This is what we were saying, how siguro nasanay na rin siya sa galawan ng Savouge after a while, especially after round 1. Silang to Camposano. It goes through.
So far, it has been an exchange of points for the Insurance Protectors and the Spin Doctors.
Edward heading to the service line. Their team is still up by a single point. That's way short, though, at the service. Deadlock at 5 here in the first set. Jules Torres now ready to serve for Savouge. Silang goes outside to Javelona. Ball slowed down. Paglaon, reverse to Calado.
Oh, and then touch from the Insurance Protectors at Javelona.
Yeah. This is our first lead change as Savouge overtakes. 6-5. Silang, his turn to go for that D-ball, and Ronquillo puts it away. Served from their captain Abunyawan. Saved by Camposano. Kept alive by the rest of his teammates. Page. Caritativo block. Good reflex by Ramirez. This will be a free ball for Alpha Insurance. Silang goes to Anima, who breaks the block.
Excellent play we've seen here. Anima somehow managed to squeeze that in.
Shawi, babawi, again checked. Javelona, down it goes. And Alpha Insurance takes us to the first technical timeout. They're up by 2.
You're watching the 2026 Spikers Turf Open Conference, and I spoke to one of the veterans of Alpha Insurance Protectors, and also here in Spikers Turf, Edward Camposano. Edward Camposano has joined the league since 2017. He is a full-time pro volleyball player ever since. He has been living and breathing volleyball. So I asked him what he does in his spare time. Sabi niya, he plays basketball in Tondo most of his spare time. Dumadayo daw siya, joins different types of leagues, and in fact, his first sport was basketball. And back in his high school days, his first and second year, he was a dual athlete. He was part of the varsity team of UE basketball and part of the UE volleyball program. He was part of that 10-11 Pete reign of UE at the time, and in basketball joined preseason leagues like Father Martins and the like. Ultimately, Edward, his third year, he chose volleyball because he felt like he was excelling more in that craft and he has a bigger passion for the game. But a few things he brings from the basketball court to the volleyball court, of course, his competitiveness, his discipline, and his drive to win and bring that winning culture with his teammates to his teammates. Back to you, Dip and Ivy.
Thanks a lot, Bailey's, for that report. Camposana, of course, Bailey's talking about his journey from UE back in high school. Then we know he played for NU as well. Won different awards in the Spikers Turf naman, different clubs as well. Actually with Signal, AMC Cotabato when they were here in the Spikers Turf, Navy, the Navigators, and now with Alpha Insurance. So volleyball really, no matter where he goes, he's ready to play.
That's right. And I think, you know, he just heeds the call to whoever is in need of his services. And I guess, you know, that the commitment that he has also for the sport is there.
That time around, Javelona getting the point. Combination. It works for Mark Calado.
The Spin Doctors just down by 1 point. Good angle chosen by Calado.
Bugawan now serving. We mentioned his 10-point performance in their last outing. Ramirez scores for Savouge, and we are tied at 10. Back to service, JP. Silang. It's a tougher set, but no problem for Billy Anima.
Anima has been very consistent so far. And we like how we see that, you know, the middles are getting activated here.
Yeah, you're right. Billy Anima has 3 points already.
Oh, no coverage on the side of the Spin Doctors.
That one returned to center, which forces Coach Sidney Calderon to call for time.
Ano lang muna tayo, receive. Una, pilitin natin makakuha ng receive. Kung hindi man sobrang abot na abot sa ano, taasan lang yung receive para pwede ka mag-set play, pwede ka pa rin mag-combination play. Dalhin mo dito, isa na lang yung blocker. Tapos meron pa tayong middle. Ha?
Let's go.
Nakaabang na lang sila eh.
Dalawa
Guys,
lang,
discard na
dalawa.
tayo.
Let's
Let's go.
go.
Hey, one team! Come on!
A timeout called by Coach Sydney talking about varying their plays. Sabi nga niya, pwedeng mag-combination plays pa.
Yeah.
No? She wants to see more of that from Savouge.
And then yun nga, no, she also mentioned about how kailangan nilang dumiskarte, you know,
Yeah.
because things are actually working well on the side of the insurance protectors. And good response from the timeout, actually.
And to your point, the middles really have been activated for both squads. Anima and Torres going at it. Also JP Bugawan earlier. And again, that trend continues. Abunyawan this time. Si Coach Sydney ang unang bubunot from the bench. Double substitution bringing in Imperial and Joven de la Vega.
Ronquillo straight into the net.
Only a 1-point game here as Ramirez ready to serve for Savouge. 12-13. That was saved, but a violation on the part of the Spin Doctors. That was Torres. Just too close to the net.
Yeah. Lost his balance there.
High up. Oh! And down hard for Shawi Caritativo.
And that was a good play, splitting the blockers of Alpha Insurance.
Ronquillo this time, too strong.
No touch,
Yeah.
according to the referee.
And no challenge, even the players knew it. 14-all here in the first set. Dan Nicolas will see action for the first time, replacing Torres to serve. 6 errors already for Alpha Insurance, Ivy. That one hurting their
That's right.
momentum. Oh, Ronquillo finding a way. Medyo alanganin yun.
Pero nagawan pa rin ng paraan.
You see, it was a bit awkward as
Yeah.
he leaned forward.
But he has been working that down the line angle very well. You know, he scored a couple of points already in that direction.
They maintain the lead here. De la Vega, saved by Caritativo. Back to Joven. Oh, Javelona read that perfectly.
Single block.
And we go to the second technical timeout. Still Alpha Insurance ahead by 2.
Mikey. Kuya Brian Bagunas. Kuya Vince Lorenzo. Kuya Vince Lorenzo pala. Kuya Jude Garcia.
Service.
Kuya Marcos kaya. Jem Apolinario. This is my perfect Spikers Turf player.
UAAP Season 88 Volleyball is in full swing. Watch the games every Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday on the Pilipinas Live app. Also available on the UAAP Varsity channel and One Sports, because legends start here. Round 2 has already begun for the UAAP volleyball action. Same here in the Spikers turf. This is the second round meeting between Savouge and Alpha Insurance. De La Vega will head out after scoring that point. Starters back on the floor.
The Insurance Protectors ahead by 1 point. This is 15 serving, 16.
It has been really close so far, Ivy.
But I think we expected as much. Oh, good save.
Pahiga na dun si Silang. But incredible save for Paglaon. Javelona into the stands.
Javelona has been attacking very well for the Insurance Protectors.
4 points now for JJ Javelona, whom they missed again in that round 1 matchup against Savouge. His scoring for sure very helpful. How about the defense too? That's 2 blocks for JJ Javelona.
Again, reading the attacks of Savouge very well. He was the lone blocker going up against Calado.
Just like earlier, 2 times. He went up by himself and defended. However, another error for Alpha Insurance.
Javelona now with 5 points here for the Insurance Protectors. 3 coming from attacks and 2 from the block.
Huge contribution here in the first set. Tough angle. And went wide. Napapatawag ng timeout si Coach Mike Santos.
Pasahan muna natin. Coach, sabihin mo. Ha? Pasahan muna natin, pasahan muna natin. Ha? Ngayon yung atake, siyempre naman, ha? Di naman nakakablock eh. Talaga wala lang tayong pase. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Tara, 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 let's go.
Kamayin nyo na, kamayin nyo na. Kamayin nyo na. Kamayin po. Black toys. Ilamang pa tayo.
Timeout called by Alpha Insurance, who are trying to protect their lead here, as we see Vince Simzon, Rocky Motol, former Alpha Insurance players. Mark Petco, also formerly of Savouge. Well, that timeout was effective for Coach Mike Santos, icing caritativo.
And so what he was looking for is better passing for the Insurance Protectors. Good
Lumusot.
coverage.
Ronquillo gets a check. 3-point lead for Alpha Insurance. And Coach Sidney will use up their final timeout.
Hindi yan nagda-define na matatalo tayo kaagad. Kayang-kaya natin yan.
Yes.
Tsaga lang, tsaga.
Yes,
Abangan
go.
natin yung pasensya natin. Tara, 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 tara.
Three-point game. Alpha Insurance are 5 points away from getting set 1. Ramirez, Manato, almost. Silang tried his best.
That's right. Really chasing after the ball. Manato almost actually had a good pass there. He was in position.
Coach Mike actually liking that activity, crediting them for their hustle. Jules Torres back on the floor for Dan Nicolas. JP Bugawan will now serve for Savouge. They were able to come up with a couple of points earlier when he was serving.
Oh, Ronquillo once again.
What's good about JM is his hang time. You see the delay bago niya paluin yung bola.
look, he gets to decide which direction he wants to bring the ball rather. So he has been scoring points down the line, but this time around he went for a crossboard.
Parang may option na pinopost niya yung ano eh.
Yeah.
Paglaon goes to Torres, called long. Will they challenge? There hasn't been any challenges called actually.
So I think the Spin Doctors will challenge this. So
Might.
the challenge is for block touch.
Might as well dahil padulo na rin ng set 1. They need this challenge to be successful. Otherwise, it'll be a 4-point lead for the Alpha Insurance Protectors, who are trying to bounce back or at least get back at Savouge after their first round result. Although both teams coming off wins, parehong team yung kanilang tinalo, 3B Event Masters, and pasok na rin sila sa ating semifinals. Malayo.
No block touch. Point will go in the favor of the Insurance Protectors. 4-point advantage here. 22 serving 18.
Savouge can't afford to play side out. Need to get a string of points. Marmeto picks it up. Paglaon nilipat kay Ramirez. Net defense has been on point. And again, Ronquillo from the block into the antenna. Point for Alpha Insurance.
He has been playing very smart here. And again, the variation of attack. So this time around, take a look at that. Right into the hands of Louis Ramirez.
Oh, but that serve is short for Baptista. You can see, though, the Protectors oozing with confidence. It's just that the service errors are hurting their momentum.
Pass is good.
Yeah, from Camposano.
Oh, that was too wide. He didn't catch the line there.
Would have brought the house down there for Alpha Insurance. From defense to offense, meanwhile, Ronquillo has been hot.
That's right. Scoring 6 out of his 8 attack attempts, 75% success rate. And we talk about Camposano this time getting the point for the Insurance Protectors. Off the hands of the blockers, making up for his earlier attack error.
And just like that, Alpha Insurance is at set point. Ronquillo serving for the set. Ramirez,
what a
bounce ball.
hit. What a hit there from Ramirez. That was actually picture perfect.
One more time, that deserves a second look.
First line hit there from Ramirez.
And way above those 3 blockers. But they need 3 more points. 3 straight, that is, to save the set. And Apolinario being sent in to set up. And the finisher for Nadera. That worked for Coach Mike Santos. Bench players coming to play. And set 1 goes to Alpha Insurance, 25-20. back inside the Philoel Center in San Juan for the Spiker Serve Open Conference. We take a look at the highlights in that first set. What stood out for you, Ivy, in that matchup?
Well, you know, both teams actually started out strong. It was an exchange of points, but somewhere, you know, before we reached the 10-point mark, Alpha, the Insurance Protectors actually, you know, they were very aggressive with their attacks. And the variation of attacks actually has also been one of the key points here for the Insurance Protectors. Another thing that has worked well for them was the defense at the net. They only had 3 block points in set number 1, but, you know, they were able to make it difficult for the attackers of the Spin Doctors to score the points. They would almost always have a touch, you know, on the attacks of the Spin Doctors. So either slowing down the ball or giving them opportunity to have a better counter-attack. And we talked about the attacking efficiency for the Spin Doctors. Very low conversion. Out of 31 attempts, they only managed to score 12 points out of that. So that's 39% conversion. While on the other hand, very high efficiency rate for the Spin Doctors, 68%. So that's 19 out of their 28 attempts were converted into points. And I think it goes to show that this Alpha also, Insurance Protectors rather, were also passing better than the Spin Doctors. So that really gives, you know, a lot of opportunity for the attackers. I mean, the center is having a field day trying to decide on who to give the ball. So it's not really very difficult for him.
So with less attempts, they were able to convert more. The numbers speak for themselves, and you made a great point earlier off air where, you know, they are pretty matched up evenly pagdating sa opensa but it'll boil down to the defense, and which we saw yung tatlong blocks na yun ng Alpha Insurance proved to be the difference maker in set 1. So let's see what adjustments Savouge will do in set 2, but
we're just talking about the blocking.
Still there. Saradong sarado.
You can say, you know, that Insurance Protectors, you know, pinag-aralan nilang mabuti itong atake nito mga Savouge. Because again, more than the kill blocks, we're also talking about the block touches. And the Insurance Protectors actually have more of that.
And that's an ace for JJ Javelona. Well, they are just enjoying their time out there. Everyone's smiling, and why not? Because that's 2 quick points to begin set 2. De La Vega starting this second set. May onting balasa si Coach Sidney dito. JP Bugawan scores.
Bugawan, low output for set number 1. He only scored 2 points. Ramirez is the highest scorer for the Spin Doctors with 5 points. Well, on the other side of the court for the Insurance Protectors, it's Ronquillo who tops with 6, followed by Javelona with 5. And Anima, that's his 4th point now in the game.
Good target too. Look at him avoid the blockers.
He only has 1 blocker challenging him. So again, a lot of space for him to work with.
3-1. And Billy doing it defensively. Camposano goes up. Another point. Oh, the Protectors are scoring from everywhere.
That's right. And again, you know, I think we gotta point out the touches here, because on the side of the Spin Doctors, you know, they don't really get a lot of touches from the attacks. So stronger hits come towards the floor defense. Unlike for the Insurance Protectors, you know, somehow those touches slow down the ball, so making it easier for the floor defense.
Nakaka-check ball itong Alpha Insurance. And really, the ones who are getting the points from their blocks. Wala pa ring block point itong Savouge. De La Vega scores as he falls down.
I think that would have gone outside already, but Javelona was not sure.
Yeah.
They just tried to save that.
Silang goes to Ronquillo.
A better pass. Ramirez.
Oh,
he
inside.
catches the corner.
It started though with a nice dig.
Yes. A good decision there, not allowing the insurance protectors to get back into position.
So that's 3 straight points actually for Savouge Aesthetics. Make that 4 in a row to take the lead. You just can't let your guard down here. Right away, Savouge Aesthetics coming back. Now up by 1. Reverse to JM.
That was out, but there was a touch from the block.
Five all, Ronquillo will be the one to serve. He's coming off those 12 points against 3B Event Masters last week. And Ramirez answers back.
This is Ramirez catching some hands there.
Had one incredible highlight in the first set with that solid spike, but he needs more. Cabunyawan, I think that was his second point. Six points for Camposano. Paglaon goes middle. That's a bullet from Dan Nicolas.
Good play from the Spin Doctors. That puts them up by 1 at 7 serving 6.
7 points and 7 attacks for Ramirez, but that one too long. Captain of Alpha Insurance, Jeff Abunyawan, now serving. Page. Back to Nicolas. He has scored the last 2 points for Savouge. And they take us to the first technical timeout. They're up 8-7.
You're still watching the 2026 Spikers Turf Open Conference, and a sneak peek of the physical preparation, the physical conditioning preparation of the Savouge Aesthetics Spin Doctors is that their usual routine on their non-game days. They have training from 2 to 5 p.m. in Upper Deck, Ortigas, and after every training and match, almost every after match, nagbubuhat sila, they lift weights like right after this match, win or lose. They will have their weight training just right here in Phil Oil. For the Spin Doctors, they have a very high standard in their conditioning. It's part of their system ever since, and some do's and don'ts for them. No junk food, no fast food, no alcohol, no vaping, and they're required to sleep at least 8 hours. And as we approach the semis, they are more focused now on their recovery, maintaining the power, the strength that they build in the off-season up till mid-season. So more ice baths and cold plunges for them. And the plan is to just peak at the right time. Your thoughts on this, Dip and Ivy?
Wala bang facial? Kasi
Parang yun na lang yung kulang,
yun yung hinihintay ko sabihin ni Baileys eh. Kasi Savouge Aesthetics,
Oh,
no?
yeah. Kasi syempre you also have to feel good, diba? Look good, feel good.
Baka pag makuha na ng tong set na to, may may libre silang
Meron na.
facial
Yeah.
mamaya at lahat ng aesthetic work.
Problema natin eh.
Time out for Alpha
Kailangan natin
Insurance.
sumipag sa block. Ha? Jay, iba natin yung block natin. Ngayon yung atake natin, kita mo na kanina eh. Idiniin mo lang, tulak mo sa likod. Ha? Para kahit paano, ano tayo sa block. Ha? Prepare tayo sa block. Tara. Let's go. Buhin natin.
Well, it's now a 3-point lead for the Spin Doctors who have woken up dito sa set 2. And really, the errors of Alpha Insurance have been hurting them. Actually, they were lucky enough na in the first set, they had a lot of attacks in those blocks, but they had 9 errors in that.
Oh, that was a good kill.
Oh.
Talk about a quick attack, 0 tempo.
Grabe yun, all business for Billy Anima. Perfect set 2 from
That's
sila.
right. And I mean, that's what you can do, you know, if you get a perfect pass.
Trying to go back-to-back. They go opposite, but picked up by De La Vega. Marmeto to Caritativo, nothing there. JM. Kept alive. Saved. Free ball, Javelona. Block!
Oh, what a block by Paglaon.
Yeah, by the shorter page Paglaon.
Well, that must feel good. Javelona has been, you know, he has been attacking very well, and he's also scored 2 excellent blocks previously.
Back to a 3-point game. Scrappier defense this time for Savouge. It led to Diones. Or it started from Diones saving and then the attack for the Spin Doctors.
This time around, no coverage for the insurance protectors.
Nilaban yun ni Caritativo, but the service error for Paglaon. (9-12). Nilipat kay De La Vega. Ball slowed down. Anima. Another point for Billy.
And he has been working the middle very well. Another point going up against Bugawan.
6 points for Billy Anima. That's the 6th service error of Alpha Insurance in the match.
You know, that's gotta hurt them. Because part of the 3-point advantage that the Spin Doctors are enjoying right now is due to the errors that they have been committing.
Right. But Shawi also gives up a service error. That's the 4th. On the other hand, for Savouge, this is only a 2-point lead for them. 11-13. Bugawan blocked. That was Abunyawan sending that ball back. That looked like it was going to go out. And another block.
The defense at the net for the insurance protector, really working well for them.
Look at this triple block. Walang pupuntahan. 13 all, timeout for the Spin Doctors.
Na tayo ng long, i-adjust muna tayo. Madali lang mag-adjust paharap. Mahirap mag-adjust pag paatras tayo. Guys, isang receive lang tayo. Medyo basa na yun dito kanina. Dapat doon mo na yung tinapon. Hey, tara. Balik. Tara.
3 blocks for Alpha Insurance in set 1, and they have also reached that same number only halfway through the second set, so they can add to that total.
Oh, miscommunication on the side of the Spin Doctors.
Resulting in a free ball. Camposano off the block and out. Then all of a sudden, Alpha Insurance are with a lead.
That's a 4-point run for the Insurance Protectors.
And you can hear them getting louder here on their side. Ano bang kailangan nilang gawin para pang-pitong service error na nila in this match?
You know, I don't know if they're being too careful about it or they're just targeting a certain area that makes them commit those errors. But yeah, they really got to find a solution for that.
Silang back to Camposano, dug by Bugawan, and binawi naman on the second attempt.
Let's take a look at that once again. Camposano was dug, and then another attempt, this time off the hands of the blocker.
Oh, that's inside, finally. An ace for JM Ronquillo and a 2-point advantage for Alpha Insurance as we go to the second technical timeout.
Waiting for you to bang the gong. To crash the critics saying, is it right or is it wrong? I think this is Applause by Lady Gaga. I live for the applause, applause, applause. I live for the applause, applause, live for the applause, applause, live for the way that you cheer and scream for me. The applause, applause, applause.
Back inside the Philoel Center in San Juan. Alpha Insurance, Billy Anima and company enjoying this 2-point advantage. This is now a 6-1 run. But first, we invite everyone to watch UAP Season 88 Volleyball, which is in full swing. You can watch the games every Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday on the Pilipinas Live app, also available on the UAP Varsity channel and One Sports, because legends start here. While you're enjoying Spikers Surf, you continue this weekend for UAAP action. How about Alpha Insurance not letting up? Here's Silang joining the scoring.
They're catching the Spin Doctors, you know, flat-footed.
Yeah. And Nicolas, that is in. Nanginayang si Javilona. Wasn't able to cover that left side properly. Been a while since we saw Mark Calado. Well, hopefully that breather will wake him up. Down the line for Edward Camposano. Nobody home.
Again, the ball distribution here for the Insurance Protectors is really working well for them. You might look, only one blocker going up against Camposano.
That cannot and will not work against him. Ramirez.
Oh, he catches in hands. No touch, no touch.
And you see him being bothered already by the triple blockers dahil ready na eh.
Yeah.
Ready na yung depensa ng Alpha Insurance.
And he was blocked earlier.
Yeah. Hero Austria will check in. Maybe the captain can spark some life out of this Savouge team who are trailing by 4. Imperial. Calado. Oh, smart play.
Oh, but that was a good save.
Kept alive. And a point off the block by Javilona thanks to Manato. who dove for that ball.
That was a very good read by Manato. Let's take a look at that once again. Look at that.
Effort being rewarded by his teammates. And a 5-point lead. Timeout for Savouge.
Combination play tayo, tapos mangingi kayo ng bola. Para malito din sila. Guys, 5 lang yan, oh. Pre-practice niyo yan kahapon, di ba? Dalawa. Tara, tibayan natin. Hey, 1, 2.
Third set, bagalang.
Trouble on the side of Savouge as they are down by a... Well, this is already a huge 5-point lead at this part of the set.
So the Spin Doctors would really have to come up with something, you know, just to make sure that they get a string of points. Pass is good.
Oh, still playable. And Havilona, one more time. You know what? It's been the defense, though, of Alpha Insurance not giving up on those balls.
That's right. That's what's actually working well for them. And this is what I was saying, you know, on the side of the Spin Doctors, they're just caught flat-footed. You know, there's not much movement. They're not able to anticipate the ball coming towards them. Net touch, that will be called up against the Insurance Protectors.
Well, he went for the block there. Tama naman yung position, just catching the net. Talking about Chris Silang, but again, when you see the players diving on the floor, may mga teammates nila are getting motivated there. Abunyawan getting away with it. Oh, Nicolas rolls on the tape of the net and went out.
But they will call a challenge for block touch.
Not so sure about that, but let's see as they try this card out, asking for a challenge.
Well, you got to try anything, you know, you got to try something at this point. Again, a very comfortable lead by Alpha Insurance here. Let's take a look. Was there a touch? It looked clean. No touch there. Point goes to Alpha Insurance.
And the Protectors looking unstoppable at the moment, on their way to this set to win 22-16. But Abunyawan continues that bad trend in their service area.
I think that's their 8th, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Savouge still down by 5. Silang goes to Ronquillo.
And that is what they've been doing very well, you know, catching the hands, so scoring points off the hands of the blockers. Ronquillo has done that several times already. 10 points for Ronquillo.
One hand set to Bugawan. Nagawa ng paraan. The athletic JP Bugawan extending his arm. Paglaon is back. (18-23).
Service good. Ronquillo crosses over to the other side.
Back-to-back points here for the Spin Doctors. One more time for JM. And that time, a point.
Once again, that down-the-line hit. But scoring for Ronquillo.
And they are at set point. 5 set points needed to be saved by Savouge. They get one from Bugawan.
No room for errors here for the Spin Doctors.
Very similar to set one, actually. It was 24 to 20 before Alpha Insurance put it away. Let's see what they do here. Camposano waits for it. Waits for the right time and detonates as the Protectors go on to take a 2-0 lead. One more time for Camposano breaking the block. They're up 2-0 over Savouge Spin Doctors.
You're still watching the 2026 Spikers Turf Open Conference, and beside me is Coach Maki Carino of the Savouge Aesthetics. Coach Maki, what are our adjustments from our last encounter with them in the first round, talking about Alpha Insurance?
Actually, we expect na yung kalaban namin ngayon, si Alpha, is talaga mag-a-adjust towards us. Pero kami, yung approach namin sa kanila, is yung preparation namin sa kanila is very high intensity. And then yung set plays namin kailangan must be active, and at the same time yung passing namin is accurate, which yung nangyayari ngayon is kabaliktaran lahat ng nangyayari. And I'm hoping na for this third set, mag-iba na lahat, and yung talagang shortcomings namin doon sa dalawang set namin is mapunan talaga namin for this third set.
Yes, Coach, a while ago you spoke about approach, and in this match, every match naman magkakaiba yung approach natin. But considering that you guys will already be part of the playoffs, the semifinals, meron ba tayong specific reminders to our team?
Wala. Ang sinasabi lang palagi sa amin ni Madam is kailangan every game namin is kailangan mas mataas yung performance namin. Yung basis namin kung ano yung last performance namin, kailangan sa susunod na game mas mataas yung performance namin. Para yung team is continuous yung improvement. Para pagdating dun sa mga semifinals and finals, if ever na makapasok kami ng finals, is mataas talaga yung nilalaro ng team.
Thank you, Coach, and good luck. Back to you, Dip and Ivy.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Baileys, and Coach Michael Carino just talking about what he expects of their players.
That's
Again,
right.
sabi nga, yung gusto nila makita hasn't showed for Savouge at all in the first two sets. They've been struggling, and hopefully this third set maka-adjust sila.
That's right. So, the insurance protectors are obviously playing in a much more synchronized
Correct, yeah.
kind of a way. And that's kasi sila naman parang, they're still trying to get the momentum going. And we also see the struggle that they have when it comes to the passing, And as we take a look at the numbers for set number 2, still the insurance protectors ahead in all of the different scoring areas. Unfortunately, that also goes to the errors. They committed more errors than the Spin Doctors. And this is the same story, actually, in set number 1. So, but despite committing more errors, they still managed, to get still a convincing win for them, rather. And again, it's because Spin Doctors probably hindi pa kasi nakikita sa kanila yung larong hinahanap.
Yeah. Ganun pa rin in terms of the attack efficiency for Savouge. Way below 50% in terms of attacking 11 out of 29. Meanwhile, Alpha Insurance making the most out of their opportunities. So let's see how this pans out for them in the third set. kung makakabawi pa at ma-extend ang ating laro. But so far, so good for Alpha Insurance. The only thing really is how they will limit their errors.
Yes, that's right. So for the insurance protectors, whatever they're doing right now, you know, they just need to keep doing that. So yung errors lang talaga yung kailangan nilang tignan. But for the other side of the court, para dito sa Spin Doctors, there's medyo quite a number of things, you know, that they have to address if, you know, they want to do a reverse sweep against the insurance protectors. So I guess one thing that would really have to start would be with the passing.
Correct.
You know, and probably the defense at the net, yung parang hindi masyado naging aggressive dito sa Spin Doctors, and that we can see the insurance protectors score the points off the hands of the blockers. So anong adjustment ang gagawin ng Spin Doctors, you know, just to make sure that that does not work to their disadvantage.
And Alpha Insurance, of course, cannot be complacent despite being up by 2 sets. Savouge, they have the weapons to get back as De La Vega scores the first point. And thank you again for joining us, by the way, on One Sports Plus and the Pilipinas Live app. If you're still with us for our third and final match of the Spikers Turf Open Conference this Friday holiday. Iptipiaco, Ivy Remulla, and Baileys Akot, their broadcast team for this. Outside for Havilona, so that's 2-0 for the Spin Doctors.
Havilona is one of the top scorers here for the insurance protectors. Ronquillo is ahead with 11 points, followed by Capusano with 10 points. So that's for Savouge, it's Bugawan with 8 points as the top scorer, followed by Ramirez with 7.
And that speaks also of the performance so far, Savouge. If their middle blocker is the one leading the way, their wingers need to be more present. Meanwhile,
but again, if your middle blocker is JP Bugawan, yeah, you wouldn't expect anything less, actually.
Si JP na muna bahala abang hinihintay yung ibang players.
Kaya, ba't di pa kayo nag-iinit? Saan na to?
10 points na, tying his output in their last game. One-hand set to Billy Anima from Chris Silang.
And the reflexes of the insurance protectors, so they're talagang working to their advantage.
Imperial goes to Torres, clipping the net.
Opportunity.
The best execution there. Oh! Return to sender.
That play was read very well. Take a look at that. Habang na lang talaga sa Bunyawan.
Very low-key in terms of the way he plays inside, but he gets it done.
With a cannon shot out by Joven De La Vega.
(4-3) in favor of Savouge. Set up to Camposano inside.
It caught the line. I think
11 points.
11 points, yeah, for Camposano.
Only guy in double digits so far for Alpha Insurance, a 2. Check that as James Ronquillo has 11. Oh, what a play!
What a play there!
Imperial showing a bit of trickery there and setting up Torres.
That worked well for them. A service ace!
Nailang si Camposano along with Havilona was beside him. And also because it hit the net, it changed his timing. Another good serve. Camposano with the approach. Outside. A series of errors for Alpha Insurance.
Oh, but that would be called in the favor of the insurance protectors. I think there's somebody who touched the net on the side of Savouge.
And inamin din. Just before we saw the replay, so no need to proceed with the challenge. 11 points on 10 attacks and a block for Camposano. Imperial looks ahead. Goes to De La Vega.
Take a look at that hit once again by De La Vega.
Kept alive by Calado. Joven again!
Back-to-back points for De La Vega.
And that will take us to the first technical timeout. One more time for JDV as we head into the short break.
You're still watching the 2026 Spikers Turf Open Conference, and I spoke to one of the key players of Alpha Insurance Protectors, Raymond Sabanal. And Raymond Sabanal was a graduate of FEU back in 2023. And aside from being a pro volleyball player, he is also a volleyball coach. He coaches in Pace Academy, Solid 7, BGMP, all of which his students are kids. He's been coaching the youth, and in fact, last 2025 September, he took the licensure exam for teachers, and Raymond passed. Raymond looks to apply for more teaching jobs. This time, majoring in physical education naman for him. And for him, he is not just passionate for the game of volleyball, but also teaching and educating kids. And regarding this match, they look to receive and to cover better, and of course to focus on their blockings, and their momentum needs to, get back on their side. They are undisciplined in this third set, and they look to stay consistent in this one. Back to you, Dip and Ivy.
Thanks, Bailey. So only a 1-point game here as Alpha Insurance are right within distance. Talking about that report of Bailey's, but first let's go to this play. Kept alive by Alpha Insurance. Avelona will give an easy ball to send over. High up to Caritativo,
good coverage.
Blocked. Marmeto was in the way for a moment. Avelona this time. Caritativo crashes. It's a scramble on both ends of the floor, but it ends with an attack error by Imperial. Bailey's talked about Raymond Sabanal, a bunch of FEU players actually on the side of Alpha Insurance, but good to know that he's also prioritizing that part of his life in terms of teaching, which could also lead to or evolve into coaching.
Yes,
but those
that's right.
two things go hand in hand. Silang to Anima. De La Vega, layo. Silang tried to save it, but to no avail.
Good adjustment there by De La Vega.
Two-point lead. Anima. Lets out a scream there as they're still playing catch-up here. But the Spin Doctors moving better than they were in the first two sets. Shawi Caritativo exploding.
I would have to agree with that. You know, the body language here for the Spin Doctors in the third set is different from what we've seen in the first two. Although there's still those traces, you know, of the things that they have to adjust, but, you know, they're definitely playing better.
Camposano has had trouble with his first ball lately. De La Vega. Bugawan
quick
with a
thinking.
soft touch. But he caught the defense of Alpha Insurance off guard.
You would probably think now he was going to go for a hard hit.
Tatawag ng timeout si Coach Mike Santos.
Ha? Pasalan muna, kailangan muna makapasa tayo. Saan mo lang yung play? Hintahan lang natin yung ano natin. Atake natin. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Tutulungan nyo lang, let's go. Tara, tara, tara. Tsaka tayo, tsaka.
Balik lang muna.
Alpha Insurance down by 3 points against the Savouge Spin Doctors here in the third set. Unfamiliar territory, at least in this game. Although this was the part na humabol din sila in set 2. Calado though.
And so what's working well for the Spin Doctors are those soft hits.
(13-9). Napaganda rin yung pahinga ni Calado kanina. No? He was able to adjust, watch from the sidelines, see how the team is moving, and just recalibrate. And right now, they're up by 3 points after the point there by Havilona. (10-13). Imperial has done a good job as well.
Oh, net touch by Ronquillo.
What was working earlier for Alpha Insurance, their net defense, hasn't been at all their friend in the third. Four-point lead for the Spin Doctors. Buhay pa. Ronquillo this time.
Another good block there.
Kept alive, third time. Is not the charm. Play on. Silang being tested. Pinuntahan si Ronquillo and gets the point.
Again, change of angle now for Ronquillo. He only has one blocker challenging him. Calado.
Mark. Saved. Scramble. Lumusot. And Jules Torres high up.
That's a little bit scrappy on the side of the Spin Doctors, but it worked for them.
Substitution here, though, for the Spin Doctors, bringing in Paglaon and Louis Ramirez.
So still a full front line for the Spin Doctors.
Up by 4. Camposano. What a dig by Caritativo. Ramirez. And it's a point. Louis Ramirez sending us to the second technical timeout. Savouge now up by 5.
Go to video okay song, Rainbow. Closest teammate, si Bim Diones and si Lawrence Signoron. Loisa Gamban, of course. favorite part of practice. 1-2-1-2. Deserve. Buo.
Back inside the Filoil Center in San Juan. Vince Maglino, part of the spectators inside the venue. Supporters of Alpha Insurance. I'm sure not that happy with how the game, or at least this set, is going right now. Ronquillo scores a point. Double substitution for Alpha Insurance, bringing in Apolinario and Nadera. Sila yung tumapos nung first set kanina. Paglaon, stepping back. Torres, target locked.
The Spin Doctors building a comfortable lead here.
Mark Calado earlier had an ace dito sa set 3. Better ball this time. Apolinario a bit tight.
Oh, there was a touch by Caritativo.
Yeah. Nadera able to find a way there. Tatawag ng challenge.
Net fault. So the question would now be which came first.
Yeah.
Kaya nga, bumagsak na yung bola bago siya na net fault eh.
Yeah, so you called it, Ivy. First referee explaining to Caritativo that the ball went down before Nadera touched the net.
Hindi nga, dinay nga eh. Kasi nga hindi makikita sa bola kasi isang screen lang to eh. Net fault, ang bola nandun sa likod. Paano makikita?
So the challenge is denied dahil nga hindi makikita yung bola.
So there would be no view of whether...
Captain!
But they are arguing.
Dinay nga ang challenge kasi nga net, yes. Pero ang bagsik na yung bola. Okay, pakisabi sa assistant coach.
But they will be handed a yellow card here for continuous complaining there. And we play on. So again, the challenge will not be played out. Referee says, lumapag na yung bola bago yung net fault.
And we don't have a view of the camera that can show that. So that would be referee's decision.
So Savouge still has their 2 challenges. That is what they're clarifying at the moment.
And that was good because the Spin Doctors were still able to recover the point, you know, right after that contention.
Apolinario to Nadera, that is short. This is a commanding 6-point lead now for Savouge here in set 3. Back to Nadera. And,
almost a save there by Torres.
Still down by 5 though are the protectors.
Of course, for the Spin Doctors, they have to hold on to this lead. The Insurance Protectors are already up by 2 sets.
Abonyawan serving, paglaon, back set to Ramirez. They thought it was gonna sail out. Camposano tosses. Nadera.
Was
Check
there a
ball.
touch? There was a touch. Again, the insurance protectors using the hands of the blockers.
That's back-to-back points for Alpha Insurance. Mapapatawag ng timeout si Coach Sidney Calderon.
Pagbalik natin dyan, patay tayo kaagad.
Okay.
Guys, let's play side-out game. Ma-afford natin yung side-out game ngayon, tayo yung lamang. Pero please, wag na natin sila bigyan ng mineral.
Effective B tapos ito siya. Kato kung ginagawa ni Vince. B, 3, tapos 5.
Coach Sidney giving instructions, saying that they can afford to play side out. But they also don't want to give a chance to Alpha Insurance to build the mini run.
That's right. Because we've seen that happen in the previous set. A good call there by Calado. Serve goes out.
Yeah, Bunyawan getting their own momentum. Imperial de la Vega back on the floor. Apolinario to Nadera.
Oh,
Block!
what a block! I think it was Tativo who was able to get that block kill, judging from the reaction. Let's take a look at that once again. Excellent timing there.
Second try for Nadera. Still playable. That time it works.
Once again, using the hands of the blockers. Roquillo and Silang comes back in for the insurance protectors.
Imperial to De La Vega. Off the block and out. It is looking like we are going to a fourth set.
Well, we expected at the very least that this would be 4 sets.
Yeah. Billy Animado trying to start a run. Calado unable to get a clean contact with the ball. Huwagpas sa kanya.
So that cuts down the lead to 4 points, 18 serving 22.
No room for error for Alpha Insurance. That's a good ball. One more time for Calado. Same idea. Better execution.
That's what he wanted to do earlier. And he got the better set also this time. Silang was just too far off for the defense.
Couple of steps behind. Anima
Oh, good recovery.
kept alive.
One more time.
They wanted that same play. And that's 10 points now for Billy Anima. Baptista will come in to serve. Timeout called by the Spin Doctors who want to make sure.
Combination. Oper sa harap. Mark si Bobby. B3 sa 5. B3 sa 5. Ha? Talon, jump set. Pa-jump setin natin siya. I-key mo sa kanya tapos lalabas na agad sa
Saan mo gusto yung bola papunta pag receive? Sino ba pato? Doon banda yung...
Gilles, ready.
Doon banda ha. Execute lang tayo.
4-point lead for Savouge Spin Doctors. Turning the tables here in set 3 after they were unable to come up with something in the first 2 sets. That is out for Joven de la Vega. They will use up their challenge though. Requesting a block touch challenge. Might as well, no? Dahil kompleto pa naman yung kanilang challenge.
And at least to, just stop the momentum. Because that was an error, then at least, they get to breathe a little. No touch from the block. That was clean. Point goes to the insurance protectors.
3 points ang inahabol dito ng Alpha Insurance. One more challenge remaining for Savouge. Baptista is the guy being trusted to serve by Coach Mike Santos. Imperial combination. And Mark Calado puts Savouge at set point. Serve for De La Vega is long. Alpha Insurance still alive. 1 set point save, but they need 3 more. Ronquillo has to serve flawlessly here. 21-24. Ooh!
Straight into the net.
Doesn't even go over for Ronquillo as the Savouge Spin Doctors survive and will extend this to a set 4 at least. They take this one 25-21. Back inside the Filo Center in San Juan for the Spikers Turf 2026 Open Conference. We'll take a look at the highlights in set 3. What changed for Savouge in that 3rd set, Ivy?
Well, for one, they're able to convert their attacks into points, and they've also been passing better than they did in the first 2 sets. So the errors has been maintained on the side of the Spin Doctors, but of course the errors committed on the side of the Alpha Insurance Protectors is also one of the things that helped them get the set. So let's take a look at the numbers for set number 3. So this time around, it's the Spin Doctors scoring more in the scoring departments. Both had just 1 block point each, but Spin Doctors now able to convert more of their attempts into points. They've also scored 1 point from the service line. So this is what we're talking about in terms of errors. The Insurance Protectors has been giving away more errors since the start of the set. In set number 1, they gave away 9 free points. Set number 2, it was also 6 points. Another for the Spin Doctors, that's one of the things they're able to manage.
Yeah. So we'll see here in set 4 what Alpha Insurance will do to get back on track. But a better attacking efficiency for Savouge in the third set. As we mentioned, the leading scorer so far for Alpha Insurance, J.M. Ronquillo leads the way with 13 points. Followed by Camposano with 12, Havilona with 11, Anima with 10. And for Savouge, Bugawan is a lone guy in double digits. But there's been help from the wingers this time. Ramirez and De La Vega with 8. Calado also, after sitting for a while, has helped out. Someone we haven't seen though for Alpha Insurance is Jao Mandal. So we'll see. You have to find out if you will see action in this fourth set. He had 21 points dun sa una nilang encounter back in March 1. Although we mentioned Havilona was not there. But JJ playing well. Ronquillo scoring.
Let's take a look at that hit from Ronquillo.
Oh, JP continues to fire.
Back-to-back points for JP Bugawan.
Camposano, oh, he was red.
De La Vega getting that kill block.
(3-1). Silang to JM. Calado. Met him upstairs. Imperial. Look at the back, but went to the middle.
That wasn't the best of hits for JP Bugawan, but you know, the net helped him a little. 3 straight points for the Spin Doctors.
Anima, oh, the middle blockers. It's been a showdown at the center.
It has been. And so far, you know, they're not able to read or able to go with the momentum of Anima. Ball is alive. It was not. Touched the floor, but I think Avellano was saying he had the hand at that. But if more or majority of the ball touched the floor, then that will not be called.
That's something that they haven't solved in this match. A lot of drop balls for Savouge. Medyo malayo lang yung Alpha Insurance in terms of where they are coming from.
Violation against Camposano. Held on to the ball too long. Again, the string of errors for the insurance protectors.
6 serving 2 now. Inangat kay Camposano. 2 guys going after it. Calado attacks. Kept alive. Imperial has been liking that fake attack going to a set. Ronquillo cross court. JM and Mark really extended yung eye contact nila eh. Nag-aasaran talaga sila eh.
Ronquillo now serving for the insurance protectors.
De La Vega. Nothing there. JM will give up a chance ball. Mark high enough for Manato. Abunyawan picked up. Calado. Stronger spike.
And that worked for the Spin Doctors. Calado is able to get the set that he likes. He likes this kind of a setup.
Nine points for Joven De La Vega off the bench. He has produced quality minutes. Camposano, it drops. De La Vega!
Oh, what a hit from Joven De La Vega.
From behind, flying in as we go to the first technical timeout.
You're still watching the 2026 Spikers Turf Open Conference, and although trailing in this match to Savouge Spin Doctors, their momentum is theirs. They had a slow start, they were too relaxed, and they had a difficult time finding their tempo in this match, and they give credit to the net defense of Alpha Insurance. But things started to turn around when they approached the game differently. Their energy is up, they are much more aggressive, they are more exploitative, more in their plays, and they're communicating better. The team's environment looking very much alive. They look to maintain their energy and momentum in this match. Back to you, Dip and Ivy.
Thanks, Baileys. That's something that's very evident here in the past two sets. The energy of Savouge is up. You can see it, you can hear it actually. They are louder and have gotten a lot more competitive in sets 3 and 4. 5 ang lamang ng Spin Doctors dito sa set 4.
Too strong.
Abunyawan serving. Imperial going for the 1-2. Nobody was ready for that.
So finally, not a fake attack from Imperial.
Iniban naman niya.
Oh.
Timed it perfectly too.
5-point advantage for the Spin Doctors.
To Anima. And Imperial getting the better of Baptista. He is having fun inside the court.
And I think that's what's working well now for the Spin Doctors, because you're playing with much more energy. They look more happy than they did in the first two.
Inside the service ace for Gilles Torres. Mukhang matutupad yung facial na sinasabi ko kanina.
Pero kompleto, di ba? I mean, they already have, meron sila sa food, meron sila sa exercise.
May
Diba
ice
kayo
bath,
talaga kulang eh.
self-care package.
Oo, para total. It's a total self-care package.
Back set to Ronquillo outside, no touch.
No touch.
Well, this has ballooned to 8. Timeout for Alpha Insurance.
Naman eh. Hey, lapit mo na. Diba? Binibigyan natin ng chance yung kalaban, no? Diba? Oh, bawiin natin. Pasa muna, unahin mo natin sa pasa. Tara, let's go! Let's go, go!
Maaga pa raw kasi.
Timeout called by Alpha Insurance. You can see them looking a bit depleted now that they are down by 8 points. Savouge, they have countered pretty well. 2 setters with 13 excellent sets each. Paglao and Imperial battling against Chris Silang's 26 excellent sets. There are a number of guys as well with double digits for Savouge, Bugawan and De La Vega. Alpha Insurance naman, pinangungunahan nila Ronquillo, Camposano, Anima, and Havilona, at least with 11 points each. Joven continues to score.
comfortable lead being enjoyed by the Spin Doctors.
Apolinario back. Baptista. That one going straight to Coach Sydney.
Buti na lang, mabilis umiwas si Coach.
Oh, buti na lang.
So there will be a challenge for block touch by the insurance protectors.
I'm sure a lot of things right now going in the mind of Coach Mike Santos, trying to figure out what has struck them the past 2 sets, because they were moving so well in the first 2 sets.
So right now, at this point, you know, the attacks of the Spin Doctors are working well. So parang nagkaroon ng, ano yun, the tables have been turned because it's now the Alpha Insurance Protectors are having a hard time, you know, keeping the ball alive.
Yeah. No block touch. Unsuccessful challenge for Alpha Insurance. And finally, we see Jao Mandal in the game for the first time. Maybe just what they need, a change of personnel. Another attacking option. Apolinario sets up Baptista. Almost a save for De La Vega. Seven to 15. Underhand to Bugawan. Saved by Baptista. Anima, this is how you do it, he says.
Let's take a look at that once again.
Back-to-back points for the Protectors. Look at Calado from the pipe. Second technical timeout, Savouge up by 8. Let's take a look at the team standings right now for the Open Conference. Crisscross still undefeated. And you can see second and third itong naglalaban na to. So exactly the reason why we're seeing a great matchup. On paper, they are, you can say they are even. And right now, the Spin Doctors only have one thing in mind, which is to extend this to a 5th set. J.M. Ronquillo getting a warning. A little too much of that. Nangyari rin yan sa una nilang paghaharap. Calado and Ronquillo. It was actually umandal. I remember the first time. A lot of those taunting. Mind games being played by these athletes. Umandal finding a spot.
Jao Mandal with his first point.
That's way out for Ronquillo.
Two-man substitution for the Spin Doctors. So full front line once again. Paglaon serving for Savouge. 13 excellent sets.
Yeah. Ganda ng palitan nila ni Imperial eh. Two reliable centers for Coach Sidney Calderon. A challenge will be called by Alpha Insurance for ball in, ball out.
So this challenge will be something that, of course, much needed here by the insurance protectors, but video replay shows it did not touch the line. So this is in favor of the Spin Doctors. That's back-to-back errors for the insurance protectors. Last 2 points of the Spin Doctors are courtesy of the errors.
Regalo. Torres couldn't put it away. They go to Umandal, kept alive. Joust won by Torres. 10-point lead for the Spin Doctors.
This is a very big lead being enjoyed by Savouge.
Surprisingly, with the way it was played out in the first 3 sets.
Yes.
Where we were really close. Paglaon commits a service error, which they can afford because of this big lead at the moment. Oh, he stepped on the line. Jao Mandal, you rarely see that.
His throw was a bit off. He tried to chase after the ball.
(21-11). Free ball, Apolinario. Naapangan. One more time. Saved by Paglaon. Diones sets up Ramirez underneath the ball. Timeout called by Coach Sidney Calderon.
Pinapatry si Madam. So, dalawa. Chills back. Louis B. Tapos si Shabby Capero. So, pwede ka mag-trace. Trace. Sige. B. Back. Trace tayo. Tapos pipe tayo isa. Saan yung pipe natin, boy? Dito ka na, boy.
Diyan ako, bago yan na-execute, receive muna tayo.
Let's go!
What next?
Savouge!
Oh, let's read some comments on social media. One comment from @Zenit Suyamate. Quality yung laban ng Alpha versus Savouge. Ganda. #SpikersTurf 2026. And we are seeing that type of match between these two teams. Excellent exchange. Dun sa timeout ni Coach Sidney, she was, well, their assistant coach, Coach Mike, talking about the specific play that they want to try out because of this big lead. Oh! Yun pala yun.
Oh, and it worked well for the Spin Doctors.
I'm not sure if it was intended for 3 guys to attempt or at least fly in.
But it did work well because the blocking or the blockers of insurance protectors were all separated. They weren't really sure who to guard.
Anima pops one in. He has been a reliable option for the protectors.
And he has been pretty consistent with his attacks. And again, the speed of his hits or yung play niya. So it doesn't really give much opportunity for the defense to be in position.
Paglaon to Ramirez.
Yeah, the right thing in mind. Nobody was there.
Yeah.
Just failed to find the line.
That one drops for JP Bugawan. Inching closer to the set point. As Imperial de la Vega, they continue to do this double substitution, which has worked well for them. It's a good serve, broken play. Ronquillo, net violation. They are just out of sync here in the fourth set.
The string of errors being committed by the insurance protectors really hurting them. They're playing catch up and then they commit these errors.
And that ends it. A block point for Savouge Spin Doctors to close it out. Then we are going to set 5. One more time. This defensive stop by JP Bugawan, 4-time best middle blocker at the Spikers turf. They are alive as we go to a 5th and final after the break. Back inside the Philoel Center in San Juan for Spikers Turf 2026 Open Conference. You see the numbers on the board. Yes, we are going to a 5th set, but first the highlights. In set 4, it was a runaway for Savouge. In that set, Ivy, what did they do right as compared to set 3 dahil ibang-iba yung takbo ng set na yun?
I think, one of the things that helped them was that they started it off really with, a high level of energy. So that was one of the things. The body language of the Spin Doctors was very different even from the start of the 4th set. So I think that win from the 3rd is something they carried on to the 4th.
Yeah.
And looking at the numbers, so it's been the Spin Doctors who is, again, ahead in all of the different scoring departments. And the insurance protectors only managed to score 10 points, and that's out of the block. So the rest came from the errors of the Spin Doctors. But we have to mention the blocking of the Spin Doctors because very early on in the 4th set, that's what really worked already for them. Kumbaga nanindak na kagad dun sa defense at the net. The first 3 points that they scored, 2 came from blocks.
Yeah.
So that really says a lot.
I like the word you used there, no? That's what Alpha Insurance looked like. Parang nasindak sila sa simula pa lang ng 4th set. Di sila nakapalag because of the net defense of Savouge, which, by the way, was not present in the first 2 sets.
Yes.
Diba? Yung Alpha Insurance pa nga, yung nakakuha ng block 6 or 7 in total in the first 2 sets, but that has disappeared as of late. So now we are ready for the only the second 5th setter in this year's Open Conference. Kaya tayo nasisisi, diba? Minsan sa ganitong 5th set eh. But no complaints as we have a quality match, sabi nga ng ating viewers. Here we go. Tip Bianco, Ivy Remulla, and Bailey Sacot. One final set Mark Calado from the back draws first blood for Savouge.
And this is going to be a race to 15. So again, for the Insurance Protectors, who has been giving away more free points since set number 1.
Yeah.
So they cannot afford to do that. As Camposano scores for the Insurance Protectors.
And what's important for the Protectors, Ivy, is to forget about sets 3
Yeah.
and 4. Obviously, the momentum is on the side of Savouge, but you have to move on. Forget about those poor sets that they had and focus on this 5th. Saved by Camposano. Umandal outside. Dalawang beses na target si Coach City. Parang kailangan niya maglaro.
Hindi ko next magpa-practice na mag-defense tong si Coach.
This time, Alpha Insurance, they're the ones who struggled with their attack efficiency. 36% only in set 4. De La Vega, block, Caritativo saves. Backs it to Calado. Naabangan, JP hesitated. And a point for Alpha Insurance.
It's going to be anybody's game now.
Yeah. 2-all in the points, 2-all in the sets. 2 semifinals contenders going at it. Oh, that hit Imperial, lucky for them. Oh, but there was a call made by the officials, point awarded to Alpha Insurance.
So the momentum of Imperial was he jumped. So I think
Parang overreach yung tinawag. De La Vega, babawi with a blockbuster. 3-all.
good hit by De La Vega.
Sabi natin, yung game na to, despite being non-bearing, you want to have that momentum, the rhythm.
Yes.
Heading into the semifinals.
What you would want, syempre, you have the winning streak, di ba?
Yeah.
Nasa iyo yun eh.
Calado. Net violation. Medyo masikip dun for Alpha Insurance.
A lot of net infractions on the side of the Insurance Protectors.
Avelona, down it goes.
Good hit by Havilona.
For all. Imperial to Torres. It goes through.
Not the strongest of hits. It seemed like Torres was mistimed that a little bit, but worked well.
These two teams going at it. Actually, the right timing in facing each other. Both of them having had the same schedule sa simula ng round 2. Both of them losing to Crisscross and then winning over 3B. Who can get a winning streak going? A point for Savouge as they break the pattern. A 2-point lead for the Spin Doctors. 12 points. More importantly, high efficiency above 50% for De La Vega, who tried to save.
Good adjustment by Villana. Villona, rather.
Umandal, who did not play in the first 3 sets. Continues to stay and trying to help Alpha Insurance. That was a quick one.
It's probably the quickest we've seen on the side of the Spin Doctors.
Jules Torres with 10 points. The third Spin Doctors. Spin Doctor to reach that double-digit mark. And Abunyawan answers back.
The battle of the middles, as we've said.
He who controls the middle controls the game, but so far, ganda ng matchup. So you can't really tell as of the moment. Rejected.
Good read from the insurance protectors.
Seven all. Halfway almost through set 5. Imperial inangat para kay Caritativo. There's a challenge before Imperial attack, although they got a block.
A challenge, I think, would be a foot fault.
Yeah, tumawid kaya si Shawi Caritativo. It was close. Alis nagdikit siya dun with the players of the protectors.
It seemed like he did cross over, but of course we'll see with the replay. Yes, he did.
Yeah, clearly. Good call, good challenge for Alpha Insurance. As we do a court switch, we were wondering, how can Alpha Insurance bounce back after the lopsided 4th set? Well, they are giving us the answers as we see plays, highlights from the top scorers of Savouge and Alpha Insurance, JP Bugawan and JM Ronquillo respectively. JM with a total of 14 points, or rather 16 points, built on 14 attacks, a block, and an ace. Si JP Bugawan naman has 16 points as well. 12 points, 3 blocks, and an ace. What a matchup for those two guys. Caritativo breaks the block. 8 all.
And either team, of course, wouldn't want any lead to be more than 1.
These two teams will also see each other in the semifinals dahil round robin tayo, di ba? So you want to have a gauge kung kaya mo bang maki-match up. Camposano, oh, what a save by Alfaro. Boy pa. Back with Savouge. Caritativo, Umandal gets it. Javilona to Camposano, no. Silang to Camposano.
Was there a touch?
They are asking for a check. Savouge. That one was called out.
Challenge from the insurance protectors for a block touch.
No admission. We play on with this challenge of Alpha Insurance. Much needed though. Itong unting pahinga. It has been a fast-paced action here in set 5.
Again, this is just a race to 15. So every point matters. No room for errors actually with the way things are going. It has been an exchange of points. Lead not more than 2 points.
Are you still seeing something from each team na pwede nilang gawin, or both teams already just?
Well, definitely both teams, coming into the 5th set, both teams have improved in terms of how they play compared to the first 4. So let's take a look at that replay. It seems like there was no touch.
Ang importante na lang dito, wag bumitaw.
Oo, yun talaga. Magkakatalo talaga dito, errors na lang eh.
Yeah.
Because we've seen the improvement in how the Spin Doctors have been receiving. Yun yung problem nila ng first 2. Then ito namang insurance protectors, it has been the errors talaga that has been causing it talaga for them. So ngayon, 5th set so far, well, I was about to say, but they haven't committed as much as they did in the previous sets.
That one was called out. 2-point lead for Savouge. Timeout for Coach Mike Santos.
kumpiyansa. Ha? Ngayon dapat tayo tumapang, ngayon tayo dapat magkaroon ng kumpiyansa. Ha? Dalawa lang yan, oh. Ha? Tara, ilaban natin, ilaban natin. May pakro ka pa kay Joe, ha? Tara, let's go.
Confidence is key. According to Coach Mike, they cannot lose focus here in the 5th set. Well, they were at a high in the first 2 sets. Sabi natin, oozing with confidence,
Yes.
diba? Pero tinabla ng Savouge Spin Doctors. They worked hard. Guys off the bench contributed. Joven de la Vega and Imperial, their center, has their duo has been helpful. Camposano, the step in.
Camposano somehow managed to squeeze that through 3 blockers.
9-10.
De la Vega,
D-ball
don't get it.
doesn't work. Opposite to Havilona. Nakuha. Play on. Caritativo out.
Was there a touch? Caritativo was very sure there was, but no one from the insurance protectors admitting.
Well, at this point, you will also just have to play it out.
Oh, there was a touch. They're admitting to the touch.
After a while, they do. So, tactics din yan, di ba? You wait for a while just to let it die down. Imbis na diretso agad because buhay na buhay yung Savouge after that point. They're back up by 2. Not super sure what is going on there on the side of Savouge, but they're having a good laugh. Even our first referee. Scramble. Kept alive. One more time for Shawi. Bugawan. Alfaro keeps it alive. Playable. Long rally. Imperial. Joven, no. One guy down. Caritativo.
And he catches the line.
What an exchange. But in the end, the Spin Doctors getting that point in a 3-point lead now for them. Just what the Spin Doctors ordered, shall we? Look at him go. Ronquillo back on the floor. Silang, pinuntahan si JM. Some hang time. JP reads that. Play on. Calado flies. JM, no. A bit dangerous there, and now a 4-point lead for Savouge.
And they're 2 points away from winning this match.
Lumusot. Camposano. Ball slowed down. Diones goes to De La Vega. Umandal. Blocked. No entry, says Bugawan and Caritativo, and Savouge now at match point on the verge of completing a reverse sweep.
You gotta love the animation.
Living up to his nickname, no? Shawi. May onting acting.
Kailangan talaga may ano eh, the entertainment value. I feel, you know, because they're feeling it. You know, they think they really feel that the game is theirs, and it's, you've already seen it probably as they entered into the fifth set, na parang yun the confidence, the body language on the side of the Spin Doctors.
Meron bang net fault? Oh, it looks clean.
No net fault, I think, yeah.
And now 5 match points for Savouge.
Now for Savouge, only 1 point needed and you get the match for the Alpha Insurance Protectors. This is still doable, given how things panned out in the first. But they don't have room for errors.
Oh, but it ends there.
What a block by Bugawan.
Rejections. It is closing time as the Savouge Spin Doctors with a reverse sweep. They were down by 2 sets, 0-2, a slow start. And then they found the answers. Take a look at this. They also complete the elimination round sweep over Alpha Insurance, winning over them twice. And they will meet again in the semifinals. But what a battle.
Definitely. And again, both teams are already into the next round, but the momentum is what is important here, carrying on a winning streak.
Final numbers on the board. We'll be back to wrap this one up after the break.
Back inside the Phil Oil Center in San Juan for your 2026 Spikers Turf Open Conference. And beside me, our player of the game from the Savouge Aesthetic Spin Doctors, JP Bugawan with 17 points, 12 attacks, 4 blocks, and 1 ace. Congratulations on the win, JP. Siyempre, we had a relatively slow start. The first 2 sets napunta sa Alpha Insurance. Ano yung mga adjustments na ginawa natin?
Sinabi lang ng coaches namin na kailangan namin nung third set is high intensity. At hindi kami ganun maglaro yung first set and second set. Medyo slow start nga. So sabi ng coaches namin na kailangan namin ganahan at happy dun sa loob ng court.
Nagbago nga yung energy nyo in that third set. JP, we still have games left before the playoffs. And considering na pasok na tayo sa playoffs, how are we treating the next few games?
Same lang kung ano yung paghahanda namin. One game at a time. Hindi kami magiging complacency sa lahat ng gagawin namin. Lalo na sa training, kailangan namin ibigay yung 101% namin.
JP, baka may mga gusto kong batiin?
Binabati ko po lahat ng sumusuporta sa Savouge and also my family na nasa bahay ngayon, yung aking mag-ina at lahat ng sumusuporta sa Spikers Turf.
Right. Congratulations on the win. Your player of the game from the Savouge Aesthetics, JP Bugawan. Back to you, Dip and Ivy.
Thanks, Bailey. There you have it. Player of the game, JP Bugawan, 17 points, 12 attacks, 4 blocks, and an ace. They are dangerous. So you can't be complacent. That's what we talked about because dalawa na yung Alpha Insurance but they cannot wait. But they did and nagising yung Spin Doctors.
So yeah, they did have a slow start, but they were able to recover. And on the other hand, si Alpha Insurance naman, sila naman yung parang they were stuck with that. And this is the numbers for set number 5. So it has been the Spin Doctors, very obvious, that has dictated the momentum for the 5th set.
Yeah.
And still, Insurance Protectors with more errors. So I think, nakaka-off din kasi ng momentum yung errors na nakikreate. So while this is lesser than what they did in the previous sets, but still, when you're in the momentum and then an error comes in, it sort of breaks it.
Nakakapanghinayang for Alpha Insurance, but they will look to bounce back. They will meet one more time in the semifinals. They will try to make those adjustments and get the finishing tactics done. But of course, we continue on with our round 2 elimination round. We transferred to the Paco Arena in Manila on March 24. That is on Wednesday, I believe, or Tuesday, rather. So game 1 will be between the Capstars and Alpha Insurance. And then at 3 p.m., it'll be Savouge and Venus. A bit of a change-up in the schedule and venue. But we'll see you there, and hopefully we see you also on the Pilipinas Live app and on One Sports Plus for our matches. On behalf of our courtside reporter, Bailey Sakot, my partner, Ivy Remulla, and our director, Rafi Ramano, I'm Dip Dipiaco saying thank you for watching the Spiker Surf Open Conference, where power meets passion.